Zombies. The beginning by Colton Dennis. When a virus spreads through a small town, the survivors must try to escape. Will they be able to survive the beginning of the apocalypse? Nashville, Tennessee. A car appears driving past. A blue house appears. Dogs barking. Kids appear running through the yard. Rumbling in the distance. A motorcycle pulls into the parking lot, then turns off. Number 1 gets off the motorcycle, then takes off the helmet. Colton Dennis appears. Then slowly walks towards the blue house. Smashing sounds inside the house. Colton stops, then pulls a crossbow down from his shoulder. Another smashing sound from inside the house. Colton peeks through the window. Woman number 1 appears crawling. Number 2 standing over woman number 1 holding a knife. Colton runs towards the back door of the house, kicks it open, then points the crossbow. Freeze! Don't move, you bastard! Put down the knife, said Colton. You're not a cop. I don't need to listen to you, said number 2. Yeah. I'm not a cop. That means I don't have to wait to shoot you, man. Number 2 steps towards Colton. An arrow goes into the wall. Colton pulls out another arrow, then tries reloading the crossbow. Number 2 looks at Colton, then runs at him. Both Colton and number 2 land onto the front porch. Number 2 punches Colton, then puts the knife to his throat. I'm gonna carve my name into your chest, said number 2. Colton head butts number 2. Number 2 groans, then falls off of Colton. Colton grabs the crossbow, then points it at number 2. Number 2 tackles Colton off the front porch, into the yard, stands up, grabs the knife, then walks towards him again. The knife being raised. A gun cocks. Number 2 stops. The gun appears at the back of number 2's head. Jacob Andrew appears. Don't move. One muscle, said Jacob. Number 2 swings the knife. The gun fires. Number 2 falls onto the ground. Ow! You shot me in my leg, said number 2. You're lucky. I was aiming higher. Jake, are you all right? Asked Colton. Yeah, well, off to prison with you, said Jacob. Number 2 being thrown into the car. Another one down, said Colton. Yeah. Hey, is your wife still having that cookout tomorrow? Asked Jacob. Yeah, and Chris is coming too. I haven't seen him in a while, said Colton. I'll see you there, said Jacob. The car drives away. Colton walks towards the motorcycle. The motorcycle starts, then drives away. Brianna Camilla appears, then walks into an office. Knocking on the door. Brianna looks up. Christopher Lance appears. Hello, Brianna. Do you have those numbers? Asked Christopher. Yes, sir. Here they are, Mr. Lance, said Brianna, handing a paper. Please, call me Chris, said Christopher. All right, Chris, said Brianna. You know, we should get some coffee sometime, said Christopher. Sure, said Brianna. Colton appears in the office doorway. Both Brianna and Christopher look up at Colton. I hope I'm not interrupting, said Colton. No, Mr. Dennis, said Christopher. Or Chris. Call me your worst nightmare, said Colton. Well, I'll be leaving, said Christopher, walking out of the office. So, are you off yet? Asked Colton. No. I still have a few more things to do, said Brianna. All right, I'm heading home. I'll see you there, said Colton. Kissing Brianna. I'll be home shortly, said Brianna. Colton walks out of the building, towards the motorcycle, then drives away. Brianna typing on the keyboard. Christopher looks into the office. Hey, said Christopher, carrying 2 cups of coffee. Oh, thanks for the coffee. Did everyone else leave? asked Brianna. Yeah, we're the only ones here, said Christopher, closing the office door then. Smiles. Brianna smiles. Both Brianna and Christopher start kissing. Colton appears flipping through the channels. TV goes blank. A news reporter appears on the TV. Hello everyone, I'm James Mark. In downtown. As you see, a fire has started, and firemen are trying to put it out. Please stay with us, said James, being interrupted. The building explodes. Pieces of the building falling towards the ground. Colton turns off the TV. Fucking press, said Colton. Sirens wailing in the distance. Colton opens the living room curtains. A few police cars and ambulances are driving past. Colton closes the curtains, then walks upstairs. Blankets are being moved. Colton lays into the bed, then falls asleep. The sun rises. Colton groans, sits up, walks towards the bathroom, unzips his pants, then starts urinating. The toilet doesn't flush. Colton walks away, then walks downstairs. A coffee mug being grabbed. The coffee is being poured into the coffee mug. A chair gets pulled out. Colton sits down, blows onto the coffee, then sips some. The remote being grabbed. The TV turns. A blank screen appears. The channels are being flipped through, then also appear blank. The TV turns off. Colton stands, looks out the living room window, sees nothing, then walks away. Zombie man number 1 walks past the living room window. Colton slowly walks upstairs, screaming from outside. Colton stops, runs towards the living room window, then opens the curtains. Zombies appear walking around. Colton closes the living room curtains, then walks backwards. A hand grabs Colton's shoulder. Zombie man number 1 growls. Both Colton and zombie number 1 fall over the couch. Zombie man number 1 continues growling. Colton quickly stands up, then runs upstairs. Zombie man number 1 follows Colton. Colton shuts the bedroom door, then grabs the crossbow. Pounding sound on the bedroom door. Colton exhales, then opens the bedroom door. The crossbow fires. An arrow goes into the bedroom door. Zombie man number 1 walks towards Colton. Colton tries reloading the crossbow. Zombie man number 1 grabs the crossbow. Both Colton and zombie man number 1 air struggling. Colton looks, then pushes zombie number 1 out the bedroom window. Zombie man number 1 lands onto the ground, then continues growling. Colton runs downstairs, sees the back door open, then runs outside. Zombie woman number 1 appears. Colton kicks zombie woman number 1, looks down the side of his house, sees nothing, then slowly walks. Chewing sound in the distance. Colton stops, sees zombies eating carcasses, walks towards the fence, throws the crossbow over, then starts climbing it. Zombie man number 2 grabs Colton's arm, then tries biting him. Colton pushes zombie number 2 into the fence, then tries reaching for an arrow. Zombie woman number 1 approaches Colton. Colton struggling. Zombie woman number 1 gets closer to Colton. A knife goes into zombie woman number 1's head. Colton grabs an arrow, then stabs zombie man number 2. Zombie man number 2 falls onto the ground. Colton looks. Josh Harry appears holding a gun. Colton nods his head to Josh. You're welcome. I'm Josh Harry, said Josh. Thank you, said Colton. Where are you heading? Asked Josh. I need to find my wife and friend, said Colton. Where do you think they are? Asked Josh. My wife is at Lance Tower. She works there, and my friend's probably at his house, said Colton. So, your wife first? Asked Josh. No, my friend. He's closer, said Colton. Both Colton and Josh are slowly walking. Colton pointing the crossbow. A white house appears. Colton kneels onto the ground. Is that your friend's house? Asked Josh. Yes, we'll go. Around the back though. The door is opened, said Colton. So? Asked Josh. You don't know my friend. He sets up traps. Great traps, said Colton slowly walking. Josh follows Colton. Colton peeks out. Zombies trying to move but are stuck. Both Colton and Josh walk up the porch staircase. Colton puts up his hand. What are we waiting for? Asked Josh. As I said, and quat, he's good at traps, and quat, said Colton slowly opening the back window. Both Colton and Josh crawl through the back window. Where do you think he is? Asked Josh. Colton slowly walks, stops then whistles. Josh looks around. Creaking sound in the distance. Both Colton and Josh raise their weapons. Jacob appears then lowers the gun. I had a feeling you'd come, said Jacob. It's great to see you, Jake, said Colton. Jacob looks at Josh. Who's he? Asked Jacob. He saved me, but let's catch up later. I need to find Brianna, said Colton. Where was she last? Asked Jacob. Working late. Underneath Christopher, said Colton. Yeah, said Jacob. Maybe we should stay here tonight, said Josh. He's right. That bitch could wait, said Colton. Josh appears sleeping on the couch. Colton appears standing on the front porch. Footsteps approaching Colton. So, how do you love this world? Asked Jacob. Well, it's still the same world, if you think about it. Now, we all have to kill infected people. But who knows? We could die by them, said Colton. Yeah, said Jacob. A twig snaps. Colton points the crossbow. Another twig snaps behind both of them. Both Colton and Jacob look, moaning in the distance. Get inside, whispered Colton. Both Colton and Jacob walk inside the house. The front door slowly shuts. Colton walks towards the window. A herd of zombies appear. Both Colton and Jacob are watching the herd. We need to stay silent, said Jacob. Let's get some sleep. We're gonna need enough energy for tomorrow, said Colton. The sun rises. Colton grabs a few knives. Jacob grabbing some bullets. Josh looking out the window. What's the plan? Asked Josh. Well, get to the building. See if anyone's alive then. Head south, said Colton. Why south? Asked Josh. There's one more person I need, said Colton. Jacob looks out the window. All right, the best time to go is right now, said Jacob. All three are walking outside then down the street. You know, we should take a vehicle, said Josh. Can you hot wire a car? Asked Colton. Actually cars, trucks and motorcycles, said Josh. Well, choose one, said Colton. All three are running. Josh opens the driver door then pulls out the wires. Colton looks at the gas station. Hey, I'll find us some supplies. Watch him, said Colton. All right, just be careful, said Jacob. Colton nods his head. The gas station door opens. Colton slowly walks, grabs a basket then some items. Thudding sound in the distance. Colton looks up, points the crossbow then walks towards the closet. The closet door opens. People's carcasses appear. Colton looks inside the closet, moaning from behind Colton. Colton turns around. Zombie man number 3 appears then knocks the crossbow out of Colton's hands. Colton steps backwards, slips the falls onto the floor. Zombie man Number 3 tires biting Colton. A gun fires. Zombie man number 3 falls off of Colton. Jacob appears pointing their gun. Thanks, said Colton. Are you all right? Asked Jacob. Yeah, where's Josh? Asked Colton. Still working on the truck. Here, let's get you up, said Jacob, helping Colton stand up. Josh appears, working on the truck wires. The truck starts. Yes. Josh walks next to the truck bed. Guys, come, said Josh, being bitten, then screams. Zombie woman number 2 appears in the truck bed. Josh falls onto the ground. Zombie woman number 2 falls out of the truck bed, then crawls towards Josh. Josh pulls out a gun. Zombie woman number 2 crawling closer to Josh. Jacob wraps a bandage around Colton's ankle. Gun fires in the distance. Both Colton and Jacob look at each other, then run outside. Zombie woman number 2 appears, eating Josh's carcass. Damn, said Colton. Jacob shoots zombie woman number 2. Zombies moaning in the distance. Shit. Get into the truck, said Jacob. Both Colton and Jacob get into the truck. The truck drives away. All right, let's find Brianna and leave, said Colton. That sounds like a good plan, said Jacob. The truck continues driving. Colton looks out the driver window, then sees Lance Tower. There it is. Park down that alley, said Colton. Why? Asked Jacob. So we don't make any noise, said Colton. The truck pulls down an alley, then turns off. The doors open, then shut. Both Colton and Jacob are walking. Colton points at a ladder. Both Colton and Jacob are climbing up the ladder. How do we get over? Asked Jacob. Colton sees a pile of boards, then smiles. A board gets slid across the roof. Slowly walk across, said Colton. Both Colton and Jacob are walking slowly across the board, get to the other roof, then open the door. A stairwell appears. So, what floor? Asked Jacob, looking at Colton. I don't know, but we'll find her, said Colton. Both Colton and Jacob are running downstairs. Zombies moaning in the distance. Both Colton and Jacob stop, then see zombies in the stairwell. How many? Asked Jacob. A dozen. Go up one. We'll start looking there, said Colton. Both Colton and Jacob are walking upstairs. The stairwell door opens. Both Colton and Jacob look down the empty hallway, then start walking down it. An office door opens. Colton points the crossbow. Jacob walks into the office. You know, I have a feeling they aren't here, said Jacob. Well, if they're not, we'll head south, said Colton. Thudding sound down the hallway. Colton walks out of the office. Jacob follows behind Colton. Another thudding sound down the hallway. Both Colton and Jacob stop at a door. Colton, you open it. I'll look. 1, 2, 3, said Jacob. Colton opens the door. Jacob points the gun. Christopher appears. Oh, thank God, said Christopher. Are there any other survivors? Asked Colton. There are 6 others, said Christopher. Both Colton and Jacob are walking into the room. Brianna, said Colton. Colton, said Brianna, kissing Colton. Is this everyone? Asked Jacob. Yeah, this is Benjamin Dale, Douglas Daniel, Chip Earl, James Mark, and John Harold, said Christopher. All right, we need to go. We have a truck. Everybody gets inside. Then we head south, said Colton. South? Asked Brianna. You know why, said Colton. Then let's go, said Brianna. The door opens. All 9 are slowly walking, moaning down the hallway. The group stops. Go back, back, said Colton. The group is slowly walking backwards. Zombie man number 4 appears around the corner behind the group, then bites Douglas. Douglas screams. Jacob stabs zombie number 3's head. Zombies appear at the end of the hallway. Hurry, that way, said Jacob. All 9 are running upstairs. Hurry, into there, said Colton. Now where? Asked Christopher. The roof. It's the safest way to get out, said Colton. Douglas falls onto the floor. Douglas, said Chip. What's going on? Asked Brianna. He's turning. We need to leave him, said Colton. Both Benjamin and Chip stand in front of Douglas. We're not leaving him, said Benjamin. Douglas exhales his last breath. We need to leave, said Colton. Douglas opens his eyes, then bites Benjamin's leg. Benjamin screams, then falls onto the floor. Christopher pushes Brianna, Colton, Jacob, James, and Mark into the hallway, then shuts the door. Both Chip and John are pounding on the door. Douglas growls. Both Chip and John are screaming. Let's get out of here, said Christopher. Brianna slaps Christopher. You bastard, you just killed them, said Brianna. They said, and quat, they weren't gonna leave him, and quat, it's not my fault, it's theirs, said Christopher. Hey, we can't keep trying to kill each other. Just stop fighting and follow me, said Colton. All 5 are walking down the hallway. The stairwell door opens. Colton nods. All 5 are slowly walking upstairs. The roof door opens. All 5 are walking onto the roof. Where now? Asked James. Over here. All 5 look down. A herd of zombies appear in the alley, one at a time. Just go slowly, said Colton. Brianna, Christopher, and Jacob walk across the board. James slowly walks, slips, then grabs the board. James, hang on, said Jacob. Colton slowly walks towards James. Christopher grabs a pipe, then hits Jacob. Jacob falls onto the roof. Brianna turns around. Christopher slaps Brianna. Colton looks at Christopher. James slowly losing his grip. Colton grabs James's hand. I got you, said Colton. Christopher points the gun at Colton. The board is slowly breaking. Shit, said Colton. Colton, let go, said James. No, said Colton. Christopher cocks the gun. The board breaks. Colton grabs a wire. The wire snaps. Colton goes through a window, then groans. Christopher looks, then smiles. Good riddance, said Christopher, walking away. Colton groans. Are you all right, James? James. Colton looks out the broken window, then sees the herd eating James's carcass. Shit, said Colton. Are you all right? Asked Jacob. Yeah. Where's Colton? Asked Brianna. The gun cocks. Both Brianna and Jacob look up at Christopher. Dead. Now please, follow me, said Christopher. All 3 are walking. The hallway door opens. Colton walks into the hallway, moaning in the distance. Colton runs down the hallway. The back door of the building opens. You won't survive by yourself, Christopher, said Jacob. No, I will. It's you two that won't, said Christopher. All 3 walk past the building dock. Colton jumps off the dock, then tackles Christopher. The gun slides. Colton continuously punches Christopher. Christopher knees Colton in his testicles. Colton groans, then falls off of Christopher. Jacob goes to grab the gun. Christopher punches Jacob, grabs the gun, then points it at him. Colton grabs Christopher's Right arm. Zombie woman number 3 approaches behind Brianna. Both Christopher and Colton are struggling. Zombie woman number 3 goes to bite Brianna. The gun fires. Zombie woman number 3 falls behind Brianna. Brianna turns around, then sees zombie woman number 3's body. Colton smiles. Christopher hits Colton with the gun. Colton falls onto the ground. Christopher points the gun at Colton, then cocks it. Brianna jumps onto Christopher's back. The herd of zombies slowly approaching. Christopher knocks Brianna off his back, then pushes her into a tractor trailer. The gun cocks. Brianna looks at Christopher. Christopher smiles. Zombie man number 5 bites Christopher's arm. Christopher screams, pushes zombie man number 5, then fires the gun. Zombie man number 5 falls onto the ground. Brianna laughs. "You're bit," said Brianna. Christopher fires the gun. Brianna gets shot in her stomach, then falls onto the ground. The tractor trailer latch breaks. Christopher walks towards the trailer. Colton crawls towards Brianna. Christopher laughs. "You'll be their meal. Goodbye, Mr. Dennis," said Christopher, opening the trailer door. Zombies appear in the back of the trailer, then start attacking Christopher. Christopher screaming. Jacob looks down the alley, then sees the herd of zombies approaching. "Colton, we need to go," said Jacob. "Brianna," said Colton. "Go live. Find peace." Colton. "I love you," said Brianna. "I love you too," said Colton. Brianna exhales her last breath. Colton. "She's gone. We need to go," said Jacob, pulling Colton. Both Colton and Jacob are running, then get into the truck. The truck drives away. Zombies moaning in the distance. In Colton's mind, life, it's a simple thing. We live and die. Now my world lies in this place, said Colton. Jacob looks at Colton. Where to? Asked Jacob. South. I need to find Christopher Dennis, said Colton. The end.